guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football. Ladies and gentlemen, Chelsea have won the Conference League. I hope that's the first and last time I ever get to say that. But what I do have pleasure in saying, and correctly so, free from desire, is that Chelsea have completed the set. Chelsea are the first team in European history to have won all three competitions and are the first team in the world to have completed their set, right? Every single possible trophy that there is to win, historically and presently, Chelsea have won. No other team has done it. The only other individuals that have accomplished this feat are Emerson and Jose Mourinho. And ironically, just like our GOAT, Chelsea as a football club gets to follow suit, and we've won the Conference League and done it all. So I'm very, very happy in context of tonight's final and the way that we ended. I am going to go into a bit of detail on how the night unfolded, because it went down a certain way that I don't think it should have, but the way that it ended was chef's kiss, absolute chef's kiss. I'm very happy for the team. I do want to stress, and you all know my feelings on the Conference League, like I've just started off with the video. I hope this is the first and the last time that I get to speak about this competition, right? We don't need to compete in this ever again. But considering that's us as fans, because we have a certain standard based on the history that we've witnessed, based on the levels that we've seen our team compete in. We don't want to be in this, we want to be in the Champions League. We are in the Champions League now, we want to be fighting for the title, we want to be fighting for the Champions League. But I do want to bring context to the situation, like I said in the preview, for tonight in its context. For the young players, most of this team are a bunch of young lads that have never come near a final ever, right? The only exceptions that I can think of, Reece James, he's won the Champions League, he's won the Club World Cup, he's won the Super Cup. Enzo, he's won the World Cup. I don't think there's anyone there. No, Cucurella, he won the Euros. That's it. That is it. Everyone else, young players, not come near a trophy. For them, this, I hope, is a feeling and an inkling of what lifting silverware and what winning trophies feels like, right? I do want to give commiserations to Real Betis, because on the night, I thought they played really, really well. I thought they were tactically on the money up until when we made the changes that we had to make. I thought Pellegrini had Real Betis clocked in to every single detail on that pitch up until when Reece James came on the pitch. So the first half, Real Betis had that locked up. Second half, we made the changes we had to make, and I'll get to that shortly. But commiserations to Real Betis, because tonight was their first ever European final, ever. You know, they've never even made a semi-final. That was just up until the Conference League. I can see their fans now all in tears, because for Real Betis, you don't know if they're going to make this again. Are they ever going to make a European final again? You don't know. For Chelsea, though, this should be the standard, you know, not the Conference League. I mean, mate, we've seen us win the Europa League. We've seen us win the Champions League. We normally get to quarterfinals, semi-finals of the Champions League. That's our gravy normally, right? We go into that competition normally to try and win it, not to just compete. So being in the Conference League, yeah. For us, like I said in the preview, it's something to pick up and just take and enjoy. But for Real Betis, tonight was their life. And they couldn't get it done. The way we started that game, and I want to give a little detail to this, was wrong. Enzo Maresca, I don't understand what he was thinking. He corrected himself, and I'm going to give loads of credit to that, because the way that it ended was down to him. But the way that it started was down to him, and he shouldn't have done that. When he started with Badiashile at centre-back, and specifically started with Gusto instead of Reece James. I don't know where that came from, why that happened. Was that sentimental? I don't know. But you don't have sentiments in finals. You play your best team in a final. Just like he had said, quoting Jose, Maresca said this, finals are not to be played, finals are to be won. I completely agree. Gusto was horrible in that first half. And Chelsea as a whole looked blocked. We looked like we couldn't move. We looked strangled. And it looked like we didn't really want it, you know? They scored the goal off the back of a Gusto mistake. And then Ez Al-Zuli literally being on his ones because Gusto was out of position because he had inverted into midfield the amount of times that he did and then got caught out with the mistake that he made in midfield. No one was there to mark Ez Al-Zuli and he slotted it into the bottom corner. The first half was just that as a story. Horrible. But, and I said this, at minute 20, 25, I was like, listen, Gusto needs to come off. Gusto needs to come off because not only did he make the mistakes, but he looked shook. I did say, though, Maresca's not going to take him off now. The best that Maresca can do is take him off at half-time. Because, obviously, if he took him off now at 20 minutes, it would destroy the relationship between him and the player. I mean, that's just your... I would do it, me. Listen, I'm here to win the final. I'm not here to take part. But I can understand if it waits to half-time. So the minimum that I want to see is Maresca take him off at half-time. I said that on the watch-along. And he did it. When I saw Reece James there with the armband ready to come on, I'm like, he's actually flipping done it. Maresca's taken Gusto off. Thank the Lord. He took him off. Beautiful. He followed that up after bringing Reece James on with bringing Sancho on, which was correct, and bringing Colwill on, who should have started. From that point onwards, the game changed. How ironic. Starting the team that should have started. Or playing and kicking on with the team that should have started the match isn't a shock. But I'm glad that Maresca acted when he did. Because he allowed the team to have enough time to turn it around. And you know what? It actually turned out being perfect. The time that we had left to get the goals, later on we had Dewsbury Hall come on and we had Margue come on. But the later on with the goals that started popping up one after the other, 4 minutes after Colwill and Sancho come on, Fernandes scores. Reece James on that right-hand side. Cole Palmer drifts onto that right-hand side. He cuts in, swing, cross into the box. Enzo is on the end of it. Fantastic header, 1-1. And the momentum shifts. The momentum shifts with all the right players that you want on the pitch at that time. It was perfect. So for that, credit to Enzo Maresca. Because his in-game management tonight was absolutely perfect. His selection prior to the game was poor. But in-game, he done everything he needed to do and he done it at the right moments. So for that, Enzo Maresca managed to turn the game around, and for that, I salute, because we turned it around big time. After the Enzo goal, we got the Jackson goal. I don't know how this one happened, I'll be honest, right? But I will say, Nicholas Jackson, apology accepted. Yeah? I asked in the preview for Jackson to score. I said this when he done the howler against Newcastle. I don't want a sorry. He apologized to his teammates, which is the right thing to do. But I don't want a public sorry on Instagram. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done. No, I don't want that. I hate when players do that. Say you're sorry on the pitch. I will accept an apology as score in the final. I said that in the preview. Well, he did. And he did it with chest. Literally. Literally. Cole Palmer, by the way, he was waiting, saw Jackson moved, turns 180, crosses the ball in, and Jackson goes, bosh, with his chest. Literally, apologized with chest. Good goal. Good goal. So Nicholas Jackson scoring that goal. Later on, he had the flipping touch of a horrible touch. We had a chance to make it 3-1 and he threw that in the bin. But anyway, I digress, because Jackson scored that goal, got us the second goal to put us into the lead with his chest. Fantastic. And then Sancho with an absolute beauty. Dewsbury Hall with the ball into the middle. gives it over to Sancho. Sancho takes the ball, cuts inside and puts it top bins in ways that we've wanted him to do for the entire season. We've always said when you have the chance to shoot, shoot, because of that. That was why. You saw that beautiful finish? Phenomenal. Phenomenal. So there's that. Great finish from Sancho. That was 3-1. Game, set and match at that point with 7 minutes left. But we're not done. Caicedo. Enzo Fernandez on that left-hand side puts it into Caicedo. Caicedo and I was screaming, going, shoot, shoot, shoot. He shoots, bottom corner, 4-1. Thank you very much, Bob's your uncle. And Chelsea complete the set. Very, very happy. We turned it around when we needed to turn it around, and we done it emphatically. Emphatically. As I can see the Real Betis team picking up their medals at the moment, all looking quite depressed, rightly so. Like I said, commiserations to them. But Chelsea, when it mattered most, just like against Liverpool, just like against United, just like against Forest, and just like tonight, in the very end, when it mattered most and you have to deliver, they've delivered. They've delivered. So I can say, right now, the season's objectives have been achieved. I said at the start of the season, I want top 4, and I want us to win the Conference League. We didn't get top 5. We got top 4. We got Champions League, and on our terms, and we won the Conference League. And we done it emphatically. Got from 1-0 down, we end up winning 4-1. And we deserved to win in the end, even though that first half was horrific, but that second half was magical. Enzo Maresca, being a Sevilla man, I think this means more to him than it does to us tonight. I think he's over the moon because Real Betis and Sevilla have a big, big local rivalry. Enzo Maresca's delivered. Delivered in-game and delivered in terms of the season's objectives. So congratulations to Enzo Maresca. I do applaud him and say thank you. He deserves to stay on for next season. He has to. It would be pretty poor to sack him now. It would be undeserved to sack him now, despite doubts. But he's turned it around. A load of these young players, as they're all picking up their medals right now, I do want to say congratulations again. And this is where I want to end. And I want to say, as we're going to get to Reece James, who's going to lift this trophy, I'm going to end this video on the trophy lift because I feel like it's only right. Chelsea, like Jose Mourinho said yesterday, is a team that shouldn't be in the Conference League. It should be competing to win the Champions League. But you're playing in the final, so it's a trophy. Pick it up. And we've picked it up. This has to be a minimum setter to these young players to show them that Chelsea is about winning trophies, no matter what, and it doesn't end here. This is just the beginning. And we're not going to set the standard at this. This is all well and good for tonight. Fantastic. But now we move on to bigger things. And you know what? It starts at the Club World Cup. It starts at the Club World Cup. And I stress as to why the transfer window is going to be very important. As Reece James has now been gifted the trophy now, and he moves over to the team. Enjoy it. Enjoy. I mean, Reece is looking at it going, yeah, I've lifted the Champions League. But anyway, and there we are. Chelsea have lifted the Conference League for, like I've said, what is hopefully the first time and the last time. Congratulations, lads. Congratulations, boys. Deserved in the end. And like I said, I hope this is just the first of many. Use this as a springboard. We never want to be here again. We are here and we've done it. Let's get back to where we belong. Let's get back to competing for the Premier League trophy. Let's get back to competing for the Champions League trophy. Let's go to the Club World Cup and go all the way. But we need to address it in the transfer window. Let's be serious there. Let's add some levels to this team. Give this young team a spine. And let's thrive on to levels that we know we can achieve. Let's go for it. Tonight is just the beginning. Let's be serious now. Let's be serious. So, let me know your thoughts down below. Congrats to the lads. I hope they have a fantastic night. Enjoy it. And to the fans all in attendance as well that were there, go crazy. Enjoy. We can all sleep on it really, really nicely. There's Billy lifting the cup. Go on, Bill. Billy McCulloch. I love Billy McCulloch. Let me know your thoughts down below. Much appreciated. And hopefully this is a turning point now. Hopefully we can start. let's get back to the standards. Let's. I'll see all of you tomorrow for 2 videos. One of them is a video that I promised at the start of the season that I will give you guys. And I'll give you guys the news video as well that I'm sure is going to be filled with loads going on from tomorrow. So I'll be there tomorrow. Make sure you guys are there too. Subscribe, notification bell on. Thank you for watching. We've completed the set, ladies and gentlemen. I'll see you tomorrow. In a bit, people. Look after yourselves. Take care. And peace.